Today, I'm going to show you 5 steps that are rarely talked about and will immediately upgrade your game sense in Brawl Stars, from how to choose the right brawler to hidden steps that you may have never heard before. Hope you enjoy the video and consider subscribing so we hit that 10,000 subscribers soon. Let's go! We start at step 1, and that is, choose the right brawler. Every day has a different map. Today the map is Dried Up River. What stands out about this map is that there is a lot of water. This is perfect for brawlers who can walk on water. Examples are Shade and Eve, but Maiko is also good because he can jump over the walls. These are purely examples of how to choose a meta brawler that is easy to push on this map. So now, we have our meta brawler. I chose Shade because he is number 1 on this map. This is because he can walk on water and hit through walls. This is very important on this map. We have our correct brawler, so let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is play for survival, not aggression. A lot of people forget this step. I see a lot of people just attack everyone or go aggressive for cubes and kills, but this is not necessary. It only gives you the risk of losing, and maybe even more important, you lose your win streak. A win streak is very important to push max tiers. But back to playing too aggressively. You almost never want to start a 1v1 with a brawler. You want to look for third parties. This is when 2 other brawlers are fighting, and you get in between. Often a brawler is low, and you can easily finish them off, and that way you get cubes and you have a lot less chance of dying. So also focus on getting a good position on the map, so you can't get third-partied yourself, but more about that later. First, let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is learn map-specific strategies. You have your brawler and the right map, but now you need a strategy. You may think it is not necessary, but it is the most important thing for a push. Without a game plan, winning is a lot harder. On the map feast or famine, I have a game plan. Either I go to the middle and play aggressively for as many cubes as possible, so that the chance that I win is very big. Or I play outside the bushes and I play for the end game so I camp a bit. You also have to come up with these kinds of strategies. Things like, what do I do in this situation? Or for example, what should I do if there is a Doug with 7 cubes in the middle? Then I have to know what I can do best to still have a chance to win. That is why it is important that you always have a strategy or game plan during your push. Now, you are probably wondering, how do I come up with a good game plan? This can only be done by playing a lot yourself. Winning a lot and losing a lot are the only ways to find out your best way to play on a certain map. Of course, you can also watch some guides on YouTube, but in the end, it all comes down to your playing style. Enough on this topic, let's go to step 4. Now let's talk about positioning. In solo showdown, your position is everything. You want to stay near bushes or corners where you can control the area and avoid open spaces unless you're using a long-range brawler. If you're playing a short-range brawler, use the bushes to hide and ambush opponents. If you're playing a thrower like Barley or Dynamike, keep your distance and use walls to your advantage. And if you're using a long-range brawler, stay at the edge of the map and pick off enemies from a safe distance. One of the biggest mistakes people make in solo showdown is fighting too much. Remember, the goal is to survive, not necessarily to get the most kills. If you see 2 players fighting, don't rush in immediately. Instead, wait for them to weaken each other, then third-party them to clean up. This way, you'll save your health and gain an easy advantage. But don't be greedy. If you're low on health, or if you're not confident you can win, it's better to back off and heal. Keeping track of your opponents is another critical skill. Always pay attention to who's left in the match and where they might be hiding. If you lose track of someone, they could sneak up and ambush you. Use your attacks to check bushes regularly, especially in the late game when the poison cloud is closing in. Be extra careful of brawlers like Leon or Crow, who can become a real threat if they sneak up on you. Now, let's talk about the endgame. When there are only 3 or 4 players left, the game changes completely. This is where you need to be the most careful and make smart decisions. If you have more power cubes than the other players, you can play more aggressively, but don't get overconfident. If you're at a disadvantage, focus on staying alive until the other players fight each other. The goal here is to outlast your opponents and secure at least 2nd place. Another thing to keep in mind is using your super wisely. Your super can often be the difference between winning and losing, so don't waste it. For example, If you're playing Shelly, save your super for a close-range fight where you need that extra burst of damage. If you're using Leon, time your invisibility to either escape a dangerous situation or surprise an enemy when they least expect it. Finally, let's talk about mindset and practice. Showdown can be frustrating, especially when you're caught in a bad position or get teamed on by multiple players. But the key is to stay calm and learn from your mistakes. Watch replays of your matches to see what you could have done differently. Maybe you were too aggressive, or maybe you didn't check a bush when you should have. By analyzing your gameplay, you'll start to improve and make better decisions. Also, don't forget to take breaks. If you're on a losing streak, stop playing for a bit and come back later when you're feeling fresh. It's better to play a few focus games than to grind endlessly while tilted. Pushing tiers is a marathon, not a sprint, so pace yourself and don't burn out. To wrap it up, pushing max tiers in solo showdown is all about strategy, patience, and smart gameplay. Choose the right brawler for the map, prioritize survival over kills, and always be aware of your positioning and opponents. If you can master these basics and keep practicing, you'll climb tiers faster than you ever thought possible. So get out there, play smart, and good luck with your push.